Hello, farm family. Thank you so much for joining us for this March planting video. So it's currently March 7th, and what I'm going to be doing today is focusing in on getting some plants started. I've got a 200 count tray right here that I've already added soil to. I've bottom watered it. And in this tray, I'm going to put in all of my heat tolerant lettuces, and I'm also going to put in some herbs. So here in Southeast Alabama, it gets really hot really quick. Like right now it's currently 83 degrees, and it doesn't usually get this hot this quickly, but the weather this year has been all over the place. I'm talking about cold one day, hot the next, raining one day. Like we've had snow twice, well, once in December and then once in January. So, and it rarely snows here. And I can't say never because it also snowed last year in January. So we're just gonna do the best that we can with trying to push forward despite this weather. But the things that I would recommend for you to start in March, if you haven't started them already, if you're in zones like 8 to 9, then this is a really good time to go ahead and get started on some lettuces. It's also a really good time to get started on some herbs and some tomatoes, cucumbers, melons, all of the things. So outside in the garden so far, I've already planted onions. Now I usually plant onions in January, and they did go in the ground, but they didn't go into the ground until February. So that was a little bit late, but they still got in the ground. And then I also plant potatoes, and those potatoes I usually plant in February as well. So those I usually plant like right after the February holiday, but they were a little bit late and they didn't get into the ground until the end of February. Now, if you've watched my other videos, you know that last December I had a really big trip where I went to Africa, and I came back home. I was completely fine. Then I was sick all of January, half of February, and now we're here, March 7th. So I'm going to be sharing with you guys the type of variety that we plant for this area of Southeast Alabama. We used to be in zone 8B, but it changed, and now we're in 9A. And so I'm still working with the seeds that I've been working with because that's what's been working well for me. But I'm also going to be running some trials and some other things. And so let's go ahead and get started. All right, so the first herb that I'm going to start with is basil. And so basil is one of those things that if you're just starting out, it's super easy to grow because as long as you water it, it's pretty much going to grow. Water it and give it some sun. And so I like to start our basil, well, I like to start most of our plants in trays because then I can kind of give them the boost that they need at each stage of their growing cycle. And so when I'm planting basil, I'm simply just pouring. If you guys watched my video from before, you will know that all I'm doing is getting it in my hand, and then I like to use what I call the sprinkle method. Basil is really small seeds, and so I'm not going to even dare try to figure out like how much of each of these seeds are here because it's just easier for me to just sprinkle. And it doesn't take a lot. Doesn't matter of fact, what I have in my hand, what I just showed you guys, is even too much. So I'm just going in and sprinkling it through. And I still have that much, and I just did the whole tray. And I believe these are 20s. 10, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Yeah, this is a 200 count, so these are 20s. And this particular seed that I'm using is from M.I. Gardner. And I ran out of basil probably last year. I had been using the same basil forever and ever. And then I ran out and I needed some in a pinch. And so I bought this last year, and his seeds, if you shop from M.I. Gardner, they are a non-GMO high quality seed. But the thing about them is that they're super inexpensive. So this pack of seeds probably cost me $2. So if I need some quick seeds in a pinch and I don't have a lot of money, I go ahead and I use these. And so this is a variety from that one. So the next thing that I'm going to plant is some lemongrass. And if you guys have been following me for a while, you know that I planted lemongrass last year, the year before as well. And I started an herb garden, but I didn't tend to it very, very well. So it hasn't been doing what I needed it to do, what I needed to do. So my lemongrass that I grew last year got super big and super tall, and it was super humongous. But of course, lemongrass doesn't survive the winter, so then it died. Well, it died back. So I don't know if it's going to come back this year or not. So just in case it does not come back, I'm going ahead and starting some lemongrass. And I don't need 20 lemongrass plants. I don't even need 10 of them. But because I want to make sure that, you know, what I'm planting actually grows, I'm at least going to do 10 of them. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So that's half a tray of lemongrass. Right behind the basil. And of course, as I'm going through, I'm going to go back and label and mark everything and just make sure that I've got everything together. Now, when I first started farming in 2016, again, I was like super broke, super broke. And at that point in my gardener seeds were $1. And so I've got these really old cumin seeds. Now, I don't know if these are going to grow. I have no idea, but I'm just going to put them in the soil and then we're just going to see what happens. And so we'll just see. I know that cumin is a herb that does like the heat. So since I know that about it, I'm just throwing it in here to kind of see what happens. And plus I really need to come back. I really need to use up some of my seeds. So that's what I'm doing here, with trying to get done with this cumin. And I'm really gonna sprinkle in a lot of these seeds because they're old. They're probably not viable because goodness gracious, at this point, they're 8 years old. So who knows if they're gonna grow, but we're gonna try it anyway and see what happens. All right, so after that, I'm gonna do some, well, I say I'm gonna do some mint, but maybe I'm not because this might be empty. I just pulled some mint out of the raised garden bed where I'm growing potatoes. And this is empty. I just pulled some mint out of the raised garden bed where I'm growing potatoes, and I threw it over where I wanted to start my herb garden, but you know, we'll just have to see if it grows or not. So the next thing I'm gonna do is Thai basil. And Thai basil, if you like curries and ramen and pho, like Thai basil is such an excellent basil to add into your growing. It's basil, so it's super easy to grow. You just really have to make sure it has water and sunlight, and bugs don't really like it. So that's excellent too, because you don't have to worry about something coming through and trying to attack it or anything like that. Now, I don't necessarily need 20 of these plants, but because we are growing specifically this year more, to put things up so that we'll have them throughout the winter, I am planting all 20 of these. So that's our Thai basil. And this, of course, also came from in my gardener, and I don't know how old these seeds are. 2024. So these are 2 years old. Okay, so we got some fresh parsley seeds going in, fennel, cumin, lemongrass, Thai basil, and regular basil. And you can see from the seeds that I'm using that sprinkle method that I like to use. It just makes life easier for me. And some might say it's wasteful, but I'm not a person who, when the plants grow, if there's more than one, I'm all about that life. So I'm just like, okay, there's more plants. Let's make sure that we plant them. And I also like to share. So I'm not just growing for us and our family. I'm growing for my parents, and I'm growing for the community, and I'm growing for our produce delivery as well. And so this is one way that I like to do it. That makes it easy for me. And then if there's more, that's okay. Okay, so now that I've got all of the herbs that I'm gonna plant for right now planted in these trays, I'm gonna move on to lettuces. And so if you think about lettuce, oh my goodness, you're gonna know that it has a big tendency to bolt, like especially as soon as it gets hot, it's just gonna go bolting, and then you're gonna have wasted your time, your energy, your soil, your money, all of the things. And so I like to grow lettuces that are heat tolerant, or garden greens that are kind of like lettuces or can be used in salads, and they are also heat tolerant as well. So I'm gonna grow a couple of different things. Some of these seeds, again, they're super old and I don't know if they're going to actually work, and so this is like trial and error. But sometimes we do that. Sometimes we have to try new things and kind of see where they take us and kind of see what happens. And so that's what I'm doing with some of these. Not with all of them, because some of them I've grown. I know that they're going to work and it's going to be fine. But others I'm like, let's just try it and see. Let's just try it and see what happens. And so things that I know that are going to definitely work are going to be lettuces like chalupa. Chalupa has grown really, really well for me, and this is from Johnny's. I've also got this outrageous lettuce, which is also from Johnny's. I've got this one, I'm not sure. I think I grew it last year, but I have to check records and take a look. But this one is called Gustav salad. But I'm going to try it again because I remember growing it last year. I think I grew it last year. And then this one is just really, really old. And so I'm just going to see if I can grow it. But let's go ahead and speed up the video and I'll plant some lettuces next. So now that I've got this tray all the way planted, what I'm gonna do is just make sure that everything is lightly covered. And when I say lightly, I mean lightly, because we want to make sure that the seeds that are thin, like lettuces and all, have the ability to reach the light and grow like they're supposed to. Now I bottom watered this already, but I will put just a light watering over the top of it because I want to make sure that, you know, it gets the water that it needs. And this is a shallow 200 count tray, and I use these because you can fit a lot in here, and it's just really, really easy for me to make sure that I can get them done. Sorry, my husband came in. He's outside clearing some trees in the yard and on the property, and he needed to talk to me for a minute. So for those of you who have not seen our videos before, if this is your first time here, I so appreciate you guys being here. This farming on YouTube is a new experience for us. We just started this channel in July of last year, and so it's pretty new. And so for us to have just over 200 subscribers, for me, it's like, oh my gosh, there's 200 people that like my videos. 200 plus people that like my videos. But you know, it's kind of scary because everyone doesn't do everything the same. And so I'm always going to show you guys what works for me and how I do things. And if you try it, hopefully it works for you as well. But, you know, where everyone lives is different. And what grows in my garden may not grow in yours. Like I have some garden friends, and they live in the same town as I do, probably like 20 minutes or so away. And I promise you, the things that she can grow and I can grow are completely different. So what grows well here, 20 minutes away, and what grows well at her house, even though we're in the same zone, same town, it doesn't always work like we think it should. So take what I tell you and, you know, make it your own because it's your garden. All right, I've just about got these covered, and then once I get them all covered and a little bit watered in, I will show you guys the finished product. And if you guys start your seeds differently than this, maybe you put them directly in your raised bed, or maybe you grow all the way 100% in the ground, I'd love to know in the comments what works for you. Or, you know, just any tips and tricks that you guys have, because I feel like YouTube is such a gardening community. It's like such a garden and farming community, and I've learned so much just in this past few months that I've been on YouTube. I've been learning and growing right along with you guys, and I've implemented some things that I've seen some other people doing in my garden, and it's been great. Not everything has worked 100%, but that's okay, because that's why you run trials. But some of the things that I've been doing have been great. Like, I've been wanting to do drip irrigation on our farm and garden for quite some time, and I finally found a farmer on YouTube who showed me exactly what to do, and not just showed me exactly what to do, but had a parts list and everything that I needed. And so thank you, Lazy Dog Farm, for you know, the garden videos, and I appreciate you so much. All right, I'm just about on the last one here, and then I will show you guys what this looks like. And I don't press anything down or anything. I just want to lightly make sure there's got just barely some soil covering the herbs as well as the greens. Alrighty, we are all watered in, 100% watered in. It's because I wanted to make sure that the soil gets nice and wet, because I've had some seeds that are pelleted and they need a good amount of water to be able to break the seal. But you can see how shallow this tray is. Like, this is the tray, and oh shoot, this is the tray, and then you can see the water in there. So I've mostly bottom watered it, but I did sprinkle just a little bit of water across the top. So we are going into our 4th year at this house that we live in now, and I have to say that I haven't been the best at keeping my tools for the garden together like I should. I am really bad at taking trays outside, putting the plants from the trays in the ground, and then just leaving the trays out there in the sun forever. So I had to get rid of a lot of stuff this year and this growing season, and I had to purchase new things. So these are all brand new trays. This is my 72 count. There are 6 rows of 12, and I bought these. I always buy these trays from Johnny's because I feel like they have the best ones. They're a little bit of a harder plastic, and they keep up they keep much better than the ones that you buy like from the hardware store or whatever, but they are still that squishy plastic, and so if you don't take care of them, they will break. But these trays are the Endurance trays, I think they're called Endurance, from Johnny's. They come in black and blue and red, I think maybe white. But I started buying these 2 years ago, and these have been excellent, like absolutely excellent. Like I've also taken better care of those because, of course, because they're hard plastic, they cost a little bit more money. But the moral of the story is take care of your trays, take care of your pots, take care of everything that you need to grow your garden, because you want the life of it to be able to extend, because this stuff is not inexpensive, but it is necessary if you're trying to grow on any type of commercial basis like we are. So, pick up this Pro Mix. Okay, so got my Pro Mix, and what we're gonna do is go ahead and fill up this tray. And this is the sloppy part, but you know, you gotta do what works for you. Again, remember what I said, it's your garden. You do what works for you and for your garden. But when I tell you guys that I had the hardest time finding potting soil this year, it was crazy. Like normally I'll buy up a few bags. When I say a few, I mean like maybe like 3 or 4. And then if I don't go through them all in the spring, I'll still have some for fall. But I really didn't have any coming into, I mean, I had really used it all up in fall, maybe besides like a little tiny bit that was outside. And so then when it came time to now to plant for spring, I usually don't have a problem finding this organic Pro Mix that I like to use. But when I tell you I couldn't find it, like I couldn't find it. I went to my local Tractor Supply, and they said that they had 13 of them online. Went in there, the people looked all over the store for me. They didn't have any. And then I went home and placed an order because I said, you know, maybe I'll try the day shift, because it was at nighttime. I said, maybe I'll try the day shift, because the day shift manager, I know who she is, you know, because I'm in there quite a lot. And I said, maybe they just didn't find it at night. It was late. Maybe they didn't want to look for it, whatever. And so since it still said that they had 13 of them in the computer, I said, let me just try again. So I ordered some from there. And then I got a phone call that was like, no, I didn't get a phone call. I got a text message that said, we've canceled your order. I was devastated. Like, no, like they don't sell this type of organic Pro Mix in the local stores that we have here. I could drive to someplace like, I think Panama City and get it, but they don't have it anywhere around here in this small little town, except for at this Tractor Supply. And so they just built a new Tractor Supply that's on the other side of town, and thankfully they had one bag in there, one. So I went to that store directly and purchased the one bag. The lady there was so kind, because she was like, I know it says that we have it. Let me go see if I can find it in the back for you. But she like went all over the store, couldn't find it. And then finally she came out with the one bag that they actually had in the store. And so I was able to get it. And then I searched around the area for some more bags. And thankfully there was one more store that actually had it. They actually had a couple of bags. And so I went ahead and placed my order. And because I had some membership rewards, I delivered it for free. So, yeah. That was a whole lot. And thankfully now I have everything that I need. I ordered some new seeds because some of my seeds were like super old and out of date. And some of them I'm still working with, like you saw me a little bit earlier, trialing some older seeds because that's what I have to work with. But now, right now, what I'm planting in this tray is some tried and true seeds that I plant every year that I love. So the seeds and the tomatoes, the cucumbers, the squash, everything that I've already started outside are some seeds that I got that were free seeds from a farm forum that I went to in March. No, it's March, Rachel, get it together. I went to a farm forum in January. And so part of the farm forum is there's a big seed swap. And so I got a ton of seeds. And I have since planted like a big majority of those seeds because I want to see if I can grow some free food essentially from some free seeds that I didn't have to buy. You know, someone either swapped them out or they were just there and available and free to use. And so I'm happy to say that some of them are. It's raining again. My poor husband is trying to cut down these trees and it keeps raining. Some of them are growing really well. Some of them I had to, 1, 2, 3. Some of them I had to unfortunately replant. But, you know, we're just going to see how that's going to work out with these free seeds that I got. Because a lot of the times the food that we grow and the seeds that we use, not even a lot of the time, I'm going to say like, oh, that was too many seeds. 100% of the time I'm using non-GMO seeds. But more often than not, I'm not only using non-GMO seeds, but I'm also using organic seeds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna stop there. I'm also using organic seeds because, you know, I want to feed my family and I want to feed my extended family and my friends and our community the best food that I can give them. And so that's what I like to buy. And so that's what I like to use. Alrighty, and so I'm just planting some tomatoes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That one is done. And I'm pretty sure I told you guys about this tomato before. Last year I planted a whole bunch of these. But they had those assassin bugs in them. And with those you gotta be really careful. Really super careful.
Come here, man, outside there working in the rain.
Brandon's out there, Daddy.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he's out there. I think he's under the pole barn.
Oh, he's up under the pole. Oh.
You see him?
Yeah, I see him.
Uh-huh. I'm not working in the rain. I'm working in the house. How are you?
All right. Yeah, it's pulling down. I ain't going.
Yeah, I know that's right. He came in and then he came back out. You didn't hug me or nothing.
Oh.
You just walked on by. Hi.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
All right. Where's the food at?
Where's the food at? We didn't cook anything yet.
It looks pretty.
Oh yeah, I took all the stuff off of it. Alright, how to take a family break.
What?
Talking to my video, babe. I was talking about how I had to take a family break because everybody showed up at the same time. That's okay. Alrighty, so I'm going on to plant some beefsteak tomatoes, and this one that I'm planting is from Johnny's called Martha Washington. I love this tomato because it grows exceptionally well. You have to feed it a lot because it is a beefsteak tomato, and that means that it needs a lot of fertilizing. But if you take care of it, it is going to take care of you. So this is one that I grow every year. Alrighty, and I was looking through my piles and piles of seeds and trying to see what other kind of tomatoes I was going to grow this year. Of course, I've already planted my sun golds because you guys know that's my absolute favorite tomato. But last year we had such big, beautiful tomatoes. And so I remember using some older seeds to try to see if they were gonna grow, and they did grow. And so I'm just gonna go ahead and use the rest of these older seeds because they grew last year, so hopefully they'll grow again this year. Well, this one is all gone, so I can't use this one. But this was an In My Garden seed. It's called a pineapple tomato, and this one made the prettiest tomatoes last year. So I'm gonna spend $2 on these seeds and buy another packet of these. Even though this is not a commercial seed, it is a non-GMO heirloom seeds because that's what In My Gardener sells. So this one I'm going to put to the side because I do want to purchase these again so that I can grow them for this season coming up. So I'm going to do aroma tomato next since I don't have the one that I was looking for. When it comes to aromas, I'm going to plant all 12 of these because these are going to be your sauce tomatoes, your ketchup tomatoes, your barbecue sauce tomatoes. These are going to be those tomatoes that you use for just about everything. If you want to have some tomatoes that you can use for diced or crushed tomatoes, this Roma tomato is your friend for all of that. And so I said it before, I'm going to say it again. This is the year where we are really trying to put up more foods for our family, and we hope that we can get it done. All right, getting a phone call. I'll be right back. Oh, goodness gracious. If it's not one thing, it's another. My phone is just ringing off the hook, and whoever is calling me, they had to have called me twice because I have my phone on Do Not Disturb. So that was actually my really good friend, and so I did have to pause the video to talk to her. But I've got all of my beefsteak tomatoes planted. My beefsteaks and my Roma tomatoes are planted in here. And then I believe I did one zucchini squash. And so I'm just watering these in. Now I am gonna do, well, I thought I was gonna do one more tray, but apparently it's gonna end up being 2 more trays because I have to do peppers. And I also have to do melons. So today we planted some heat tolerant lettuces. We planted some herbs. We planted some tomatoes. We are going to still plant peppers, but I'm going to do that off camera from you guys. And I planted some zucchini. And there are so many things that you can plant if you are in the hotter zone like we are. So let me close out the video. So I thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If this has been your first time here and you've enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing to our channel. I will be pushing out videos twice a week, every week on Wednesday and Sunday. And I would love if you would go ahead and like this video. When you like the video, what it does is it pushes YouTube to push it out to more people. And then hopefully we can get some more subscribers. And that helps us and goes a long way. So remember, if you're planting in March, you can start cucumbers, which we didn't plant today because I've already planted them. You can plant cucumbers, tomatoes, peppers, okra, zucchini, heat-tolerant lettuces, all of your herbs that love the heat. So think basil, any variety of basil, lemongrass, mint, things like that you can plant. You can also plant green beans. You can plant your melons. So many things that you can plant. So, but today, we didn't plant all of those obviously, but some of the things I'm going to do off camera. But I appreciate you guys for watching. I hope this video helps you out. Remember, we are in zone 9A here. It used to be 8B, but if you're in zones 8 to 9, you should be able to start all of these plants. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a good day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.